Okay, hello, good morning. Feeling good today. This is the first day in I can't remember since. I actually start my stream when I'm supposed to, which is 8:30. And we had a really nice morning. The sun is shining. You know, when I take my walk with Oscar, the baby, in the morning, I kind of do a check-in. Like, like when you have these moments of just feeling really good. I sometimes have that in the morning strolling Oscar. And it's the same kind of feeling I get if I'm at a festival or like, I don't know. I don't know what makes the situation like reflecting on how you feel about things. But today I had this like really good feeling, like the feeling of being happy, which is super nice. And then like analytical me start, why did I feel that today? What was special about today? Well, it was the first night Oscar slept through the whole night, which means my girlfriend is in a better place, which means I'm in a better place. Like the sun was shining. I feel I have control of stuff at work. I was looking forward to the stream. And I weren't stressing with anything. But I don't know. I think there's some unreliable factor to this, like feeling happy. Like that, like one thing is like not complaining about stuff, but actually feeling really happy. Yeah. Anyways, so I'm having a good day. Excited to continue on this thing. And I thought, let's see. Yeah, there's an issue here with like maybe we should put. Yeah, I think we should move this thing. This is relative. Yeah. So if we make this one, yeah, I guess we can just move it. I think we need to put this bottom left. Absolute bottom 6, right 6. Yeah, we have to do that. So we have room for the title. Okay, so what we wanted to do now is move from this page. This is pretty much done. And actually, I think if we don't have a title, we just don't show it. Yeah, I think that's better. And then there might be a title there. Cool. Yes, so let's move into, let's see, there's a lot of secret stuff here. Okay, let me just create a new one. Yes, so one thing I want to do. Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, this looks like shit now. What did I do? I need to fix this. One thing I want to do first, I want to send an email to the Loom people. Beta. Okay, I'll do that later, but we need to open up the domain we use at Code Sandbox. What the hell did I do here? I removed some stuff. Let's see, Excalidraw Firebase. I removed some styling. Maybe let's see. Source. We had index. Oh yeah, we have to look back. Yeah, let's look at it from this perspective. We have index CSS. I didn't know. How did I actually import? Oh, I think I know why. yeah, like it's just a wrapper. It's not there because I removed the class names. So let's just take a look at the Excalidraw thing. So user ID, okay. Excalidraw. You see here we have the center wrapper thing. Render Excalidraw. Okay, this doesn't have. This has. Yeah, we can change that one. But let's fix the other stuff first. Excalidraw canvas. Yeah, here we go. We have this Excalidraw wrapper. And how did that look like? Yeah, that's pretty important. Height. Screen. And there it is. Margin 0. What's that? Oh, I'm adding padding now. Yeah, this shouldn't have padding. The padding should be on the actual thingy. There we go. Nice. Okay, so we're back at it. And we had this edit thing. Let's look at that. And edit. How the hell did that look like? So I think this was the thingy with the thingy. So this should really be like a button. Yeah. Button. So let's look at. And again, like we're still playing around with styling. Yeah, let's just do the new. But very, very soon we should have. And let's make this a button instead. Fixed. At what position did I put it? Edit. Oh, it was just some random stuff. Padding X. Yeah, let's just try this. Yeah, and it has a. Let's just use 50. Ah, god damn it. Oh, yeah, we need to. Oh, there. Are you there? There you are. Why doesn't it have rows? Okay, so let's do. Well. Gray 50. Like that, and then text is. Where do we have text? Text gray 500. Now this is looking better. Cool. I think this could be bigger. Yeah, we can test that. First of all, it needs to be further to the right. How far does this go? Oh. Oh. Okay, something like that. Then we'll make this like a record button, but I think we should make this thing a little bit bigger. Doesn't it change the actual SVG? No, it doesn't. Okay, how do I change the size of this? It doesn't really say anything about changing the size. Oh. How do I... Here we go. Okay, I can... How do I change the size? Blah, blah, blah. How do I change the size? I can syntax... Oh, size. Ah. Oh, that was a little bit too big. That's a little bit too small. Okay, that's okay. Large. Let's use that. Cool. So we have that thing, and then let's see if Font Awesome has record. Record. Okay, I guess we can use the video. Oh, I have to fix the tests. Anyways, and didn't I change like the colors? What the hell is happening here? Excalidraw element, doesn't it? That's weird. Huh, that's weird. Where were we? Okay, it should still have the size large. Yeah, because here we have background color. Yeah, so what we can do here instead of style, class name. Class name. Oh. Yeah, I don't know if... this is probably not being picked up by... this is probably not being picked up by the purger. It's really annoying. Yeah, and even this thing, I think we need to change this. So we have all these colors. And that needs to be class name. So by default, it should have this stuff. Oh yeah, this is tricky, like loading. Okay, let's see. Opacity 50. Here the class name should really be the same, only it's like green. Okay, let's try that. Why that was loading? Why did loading have text gray? Oh, it's this, yeah, the loading thing. Let's bring back the dual ring. LDS dual ring. Kind of like that one. Yeah. So we'll put that back into this thing. Let's see. This stuff takes forever. Yeah, that needs to be centered. Excalidraw. So where's the button? Inline flex, item center, justify center. Oh, shouldn't that be? Oh, it's the size of it, of course. So instead of having px, py, we're going to say width 4, height 4. No, that doesn't work. Okay, good. That works. I'm not sure if we need that loading indication. It might be a bit too much. Anyways, let's add the other button now. And what we are going to do is we are going to rather make this like a toolbar. So we have this stuff needs to go in here. Right 16 top 2, so this doesn't need that stuff. Needs to flex. Item center. Cool. Yeah, so this is basically the same thing. What was the name of the icon? Video. FA video. Yeah, and then we have, yeah, exactly. That was to make the recording work. We need a button ref. We're getting there. Oh yeah, we want this to be first, I think. And we want some distance between them. Yeah, so this one should like always be, let's see, text white, PG, and let's bring in the stuff. Text white, red, and I think this should like be 500 or something. Red 400, red 400, something like that. Yeah, and then some distance between them. I don't know. It's a little bit big, isn't it? God damn it. I think the buttons should be like width. Maybe the width should be, yeah, I like that better. Okay, let's just keep it as is, because this is, yeah, let's just keep it like that. Okay, so when I click this now, yeah, it starts the thing, which is great. That's great. And basically what we need now is a concept of, oh, we also need a title. So I was thinking to do something similar for that. So we'll just have like an input that's basically a big button. And then when you click it, you edit it. And then there's like a, when you hit enter or you click like OK, then it stores that title. So let's fix that. Well, we don't have to fix that. So title can be added later. That's not important for release because we don't really have a title on anything yet. Anyways, so the more important thing is, oh, maybe does Tailwind UI have like this kind of drop down thing? So you could like record and then you have like a drop down and that shows the different recordings. Let's see if that exists. Oh, let me just open the window here, 2 seconds. see. Do we have that kind of button? Or we'll have to what's it called? We have to separate it into two things. Yeah, so we could like combine these two things. So we can do that kind of thing, and then then we just replace that one with that kind of button. Yeah. Oh, maybe we should just copy this thing. Yeah, let's do that. We'll copy this thing and put that at the top here. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do that. And then like when you click one of these things, it will trigger that thing, which is a list of recordings. Now the thing is, like, this is a tricky feature because in terms of user experience, because when you click one of those recordings, it should like put the Excalidraw in the state of the recording. And yeah, what the hell should actually happen? What the hell should actually happen when you open a recording? Okay, so let's try to do this in steps. Minimal viable product. Let's allow making a recording first. And we don't actually keep the recording. You just make the recording, and that's being put onto your account, which already happens. The only thing we do is that when you're done recording, we'll open the URL to the recording in a new tab. That's the only thing we do. And then as a next iteration, we can actually store a snapshot of the Excalidraw. And yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. Because then we're pretty much ready. And then I can demo this today, which is awesome. But okay, one thing we have to fix that I know is going to be a problem is this stuff. We need to make sure that we actually have these. So let's see. I think this is more Tailwind, purge, whitelist. Oh, it's called safe list. So this is inside Tailwind actually. Yeah, purge. Yeah, I remember now. Content. Safe list. Oh. Like, this is the really bad thing about Tailwind. Like, really bad, because you don't discover it until you're in production. Let's see, opacity 50 should also be there. And the reason I'm doing this is because if you don't know, is because the purging is based on finding class name properties and analyzing them. But in this case, I'm just putting some like a string somewhere that just happens to have Tailwind CSS class names. So the purging won't include them. Let's see. Okay, so we got that stuff. the recording. So the only thing we really need to do now, I think, is, let's see, where did we do this? Did we do any recording? How did we implement the recording? I can't remember. Did we just shove it into this thing? I think we did. We just wanted to try it. Button ref. Yeah, here we go. Yes, so let's refactor this so that we actually so let us refactor this so that we can actually run this from, like, we want to run this from the feature. We're kind of shoving all of this into, and we shouldn't have a button ref. We should rather say, okay, so we do have a use effect, but that use effect should rather tell send type let's see, configure record button mounted, and then the ID of that is like Loom record. So we'll have that, and then well, maybe we don't need this. Maybe we just put ID Loom record. Don't need a button ref, and because this one mounts before the feature mounts, I believe. So when we do a use effect on the feature, then we should have access to grabbing the Loom record button. So if we just do this, and let's play around with our, what's the error? Is there an error? No. Let's play around with the actual feature. So we have the Excalidraw feature. Let's just shove it in here first. So we need auth, auth, use auth. Yeah. So one feature can use another feature, no worries about that. And then I think we can just use a normal use effect here. What I do wonder though is, should that be part of the state? Should we have, in the base context, should we have an indication if we do have Loom or not? I think we should have recordings, export type, record context, because this can actually hold the states of the recording. So it can be disabled because we don't have the thingy, or it could be recording, or it could be idle, I guess. So let's record context. So what we need to do is let's look at the feature here, because now we are able to do an initial context. Yeah. Now the thing is, when the initial context comes from the outside, oh, sorry, is this? Oh yeah, because it's loading. Yeah, we'll fix this. Oh, this is interesting. I think, yeah, how do we do this? Because, this is tricky. Now the initial context is loading, and how do we know when we are? Oh, I think we should do, yeah, use enter effect context. No, we don't want to do that. How do we want to do this? How do we want to inform that it's idle? Because it starts out as, we kind of want to make that part of the initial context, really. Yeah, you know what? We're not going to use auth here. We're just going to make this part of the initial. So record context. We have disabled idle. API key. Yeah, we'll keep the API key there. So it's from the outside, right? So when the feature is mounted, we are going to have this record context here as well. And yeah, on error, I guess we don't need it. So when the initial context, yeah, so the initial, we can't do it up here, but we have initial context, or okay, so this is how we do it. Of, use of state loading record of. Oh yeah, and this needs to be authenticated. Of Loom API key. Then we want the state of record to be idle with that API key, or the state is disabled. Okay, so this is what we're doing. You can pass in the initial context, like for testing and stuff, but instead of like defining it up here, we want to define it down here so we can access some stuff. And you can only access, this feature only operates in the authenticated state of your authentication. You can't get here without being authenticated. That's why we can do this. And then we check if we have the API key, and if we have it, we'll go into idle. Which means that when we click this button, we can go into, you know what, we're actually going to make it part of, no, we're going to do this. So we're going to use effect, How are we going to do this? Cause, oh, god damn it. Cause here we, like, if we are loading, we don't have the button. We only have it in the loaded, edit, syncing, dirty, or syncing state. But we don't want it to, god damn it. We don't want it to, so if we were to configure it, like we only want to configure it once. But that should only happen when we are loaded. But we can get into a loaded state many times. Like it moves back and forward. So how the hell would we ensure that? Oh, wait a minute. Of course. So state would be not configured and configured or ready or something. Yes, and we're going to make this part of all the states. Well, if we get not, well, the thing is, if we get into let me show you. My point is that not configured. My point is that I want to kind of do this. Use enter effect context.record. That's what I want to do, but I can't do that because of the error. It doesn't have the record context. And we can't make these effects dynamic. So either we need the record context. Okay, let's just put the record context on the whole thing. So even there's an error, we actually have the record context, which means that if I do what? So it's on loading, on that thing, and on base. Oh, of course, it's because of the transient context. Ah, god damn it. Yeah, this is what worries me about this architecture. It's things that are very simple. Well, you think it's very simple. Requires a lot of mental effort to get it right, but it does indicate that there's a hidden complexity there. And there is, as you see, when I was thinking about this, we actually have, it can be disabled, it might not be configured, it can be configured, it has a recording state. Does this mean that it should really be its own feature? And maybe that's actually better, because then we don't have to tie in everything here. Yeah, like we have a feature that takes like a Loom key, API key. Yeah, let's do that. We'll put this into its own feature. Yeah, so that's what I mean. It's like when you struggle with putting something into a feature, it is an indication that you have not you have underestimated the complexity of the implementation. which I think is true for this situation. So I would create like a Loom, well, let's call it a recording. And I don't think we actually need to like split this up. Oh, sorry, new file. So let's move Excalidraw types. We have a record context, but let's not add that here anymore. Let's rather put it in here. Now it's just called context. Yeah, and I don't think we need API key here anymore. What we rather do, export type. Yeah, so we have a type of UI event, which would be record. And then we export a feature here for course. And we export a type of event, which is basically now only a UI event. And let's give it a feature context, create context, and yeah, a context of context and event. And then let's give it a reducer, which is also context and event. So we have disabled, configured, not configured, or recording. And then let's give it a hook, create hook, giving it the feature context. And here we definitely need the children, which is React node, and Loom API key, which might not be there. API key, which would be possibly a string. Cool. And the way we would do this is we also have initial context. And what we can do here is that we can say, do we have API key? Then we move into, oh, this is interesting. I think we should have the API key here. And the reason is that we don't really know that we have it. But we know that we have it if it's like not configured or recording. That we know we have it. But from the perspective of initializing the feature, we don't know if we have it. So let's see. Initial context would be context. So the state here would be, if we have the API key, we would say not configured with the API key, or the state would be disabled, right? And then we would say feature is use reducer with the initial context if process.browser. Oh, am I mixing? Oh, I'm mixing this with, yeah, this is Vite. I keep mixing stuff up. Recording, use DevTools, and let's bring in the thingy. Oh, yeah, let's just remove everything here. Away with you. There we go. So we have the recording. Let's just shove it in there, and let's return feature context, provider value, feature, and children. And then context send equals feature. Okay, so what we want to do is that when we enter the context, we need this one as well. When we enter the context of not configured, that is when we actually do the thing, and we know we have an API key here. So let's do this, and let's do this. And the point is, since, let's move back to the actual thing. So let's, and this should actually be coming from an environment effect. So we need to fix that as well. So let's just quickly fix that environment. I guess we can call it Loom. I think we can call it Loom. Index.ts, new file, browser TS. So we have export interface, Loom. How did I do this? I can't remember how. Yeah. So export interface, Loom. And in the browser implementation is where we actually have the thing. Let's see how we use it. So we configure a button. And then there are some hooks. Okay, let's just copy this. We make this part of... Yeah, so this is interesting. Like we do a setup. So we pass in, first we do a setup and then we configure the button. But I think we can do this in the same go. We don't need to separate those. So we can say it should have a configure part, and that configure needs API key. Yeah, and it needs events, type Loom event, which would be Loom configured. Okay, so we have the API. Maybe we can do, just make it an object. Configuration. That configuration should have an API key, which is a string. It needs a button ID, which is a string. Like we want to keep away using the environment directly, so we don't want to actually pass the element, because that means we would need to use a browser environment. We put that into Loom itself, so the actual browser environment is actually using the browser, nothing else. And then we have the hooks. Well, I think we can just flatten them. So we have on insert clicked the share link. Do we have some typing for that? God damn it. Share. I think that is this thing. Let's see. So we have import Oh. Yeah. Why aren't they exporting it? That's silly. That's fucking silly. Okay. Let me just copy it then. That's silly. Why aren't they exporting it? Okay, so what we want to do here, we have a configuration, and this actually Loom video. So we have events, Loom event, and the thing is on insert. Okay, so this is interesting because we actually don't need these hooks. We don't need the hooks. We actually just fire events. So this is going to be super nice, like event driven. So we have Loom configured, and then we might get a Loom insert event, which gives us a Loom video. And then we might have, oops. Yeah, like this feature is, yeah, of course it should be its own feature. Start. Cancel. Complete. Okay. So this is interesting. We just pass in, yeah, so this can be API key, button ID. This is such a simple interface. I love it. Oh, yeah, like this. And then in the actual implementation, we have export cons create Loom, which creates Loom. Events, configure, API key, button ID. And this is where we shove in all the stuff. So let's take this stuff, and now let's see, let's just make it part of the thing. Loom from Loom, and let's see, Loom is Loom, and let's make sure when we actually fire up the environment, where do I do that? I can't remember. Here we go. Loom is create Loom from browser. Yeah, so in our feature now, we can actually just use Loom as an environment effect. Loom use environment. And now we can just say Loom configure API key. And I've hard coded the ID. So it basically just expects that ID to be there. Oh, where the hell? What did I call it? Loom record. Like, you could argue that this is something. Oh yeah, you know what? We can actually make that part of button ID Loom record. So it's yeah, it actually grabs it from yeah, so it's time to, what did I have here? Oh, let's put this into the thingy. I'm just going to create a base context, type base context. That would be this stuff. Oops. Or base context, and so we don't have to do this, and we don't have to do this. What the hell did I do now? Oh yeah, I'm missing the and this should be button ID Loom record. Cool. And button ID, we pass in the button ID. Let's just do this. Record feature. Oh, feature as use recording feature. Use recording. We don't need to do that, I think. Okay, closing in. Oh, god damn it, I have to go. Okay, but this is almost done. We can get this done tomorrow morning. I'm positive. But this is, yeah, this is super nice. And this also makes the whole thing testable, right? So we can run all the features and everything in tests. Now that we have Loom as an environment effect, we have a recording feature, and it will actually deal with all the complexity. So we're actually going to just fire events on this. And we can start firing them now, but we just don't act on them quite yet. So this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome. Cool. We'll see each other tomorrow, hopefully. And yeah, have a nice day.